like I forgot what podcast we was doing, but wait, is that nah? That ain't the homie the producer, is it? Nah,
Who,
that's
me?
yeah. You
No.
not yeah. It's yours to say. Oh God.
No, no. I'm just a guy on the internet with some strong worldviews.
Yeah, for real, for real.
But but
Nah,
yeah,
but
So
yeah, I want to
I
go
can take a
ahead and
stab at
yeah,
this.
go ahead and introduce Mr. Mo Rebuttal to the panel. Shout out to you, bro.
Yeah, thanks for having me up. Appreciate it.
Shit like that.
Oh
Shit
yeah, no
like that.
problem,
Shit
brother.
like that.
So what do you have on the question? What advantages or unique strengths do age gap relationships offer that same age couples might overlook? What you got?
Well, one of the main things you would see in cases of someone, let's say they're 30 and the other person's 18, is a resource. The person who's 30 is going to have way more resources and going to be able to provide a better life for that 18-year-old. So specifically in the case of an 18-year-old woman and a 30-year-old man, let's say that man wants to have 10 children. So the thing that he's going into it is, I need someone who's fertile enough to do that and has the time to do that. So that's what
Mm,
she would provide. And in turn, he would provide superior resources and a life that she's looking to live. Maybe she wants to be a stay-at-home mom and enjoy those 10 children. So those are some big, huge benefits, not to mention the fact that he has a lot more experience. He has a lot more, he's more comfortable in who he is usually around that point. He can lead better. The list goes really on and on. This is also what confuses me about a lot of feminists make the argument of, oh, the 30-year-old man would be taking advantage of the 18-year-old. Well, who exactly is taking advantage of who here? He's the one with all the resources. She's going into it with practically nothing other than just her age to offer. So this doesn't even make any sense to me.
mm.
Bang, bang, bang.
Shit like that. Shit
Carmen,
like that. Shit like that.
you
Shit like that.
disagree?
I do.
I'd
Uh-oh,
love to hear why.
I saw your face twisting up a little bit.
Surprise.
Uh-oh.
Not to rehash anything,
Okay.
but I would love to hear the moral reason why a 30-year-old and an 18-year-old should not be involved with each other.
Morally,
Specifically,
because an 18-year-old has no business being a mother to begin with.
that's not a moral claim.
That is a moral claim.
What is the moral value judgment you're making to say that that is wrong?
That's a
what
moral
what
claim.
what
What's the moral
what
claim?
metric
Because
are
you
you
are like-
using to make that?
Because you can give birth doesn't make you a fit mother. And morally is wrong because you don't know how to be a mother. How are you going to raise another child when you're a child yourself mentally at 18?
Okay, that's an assertion, but that's not a moral claim. What makes it
That is-
morally wrong?
It is morally. I've just answered your question.
What is your
Morally,
definition of
wrong.
morals? What do you how do you judge something moral or not?
Morality.
What's right or wrong?
And how do you judge that?
That's morality. That's what morality is. What is your standard?
Who
of right or
decides
wrong?
that though? What's
I-
right
that's
or
the-
wrong?
That's a very deep question because if you
Well, no,
believe-
ultimately it comes down to you can either ground it in something to ground your morals on, or it's subjective, which means it's whatever the collective decides is right.
no,
Which
They said
it
God
could
did.
be morally you can either if it's legally okay you can argue that you can follow the instruction. I'm like, well, legally it's legal, so therefore it's moral.
no,
go that route.
legality and morality
Other
are two
part-
separate things.
Other part can
Completely
be well,
different.
if you're in a religious relationship,
Very
if you-
different.
whatever God you believe in, if you believe in a higher power of any kind, they set the standard for what's right or wrong.
What if the
Some people
power
think it's
low
right.
though?
to do. Some people think it's great.
So
to-
are you saying that
tell
you
people.
ground your morals in a theistic worldview?
Mm,
Yes, I
yeah,
do.
that's a good word.
You do. Okay.
Uh-oh.
So from a
do. I
theistic
think-
worldview, then what is wrong morally with a 30-year-old and 18-year-old getting together?
Can they? They can. From
But
a
what's morally
religious standpoint-
wrong about it?
from a
I'm still not
religious
hearing a moral
standpoint,
reason.
I still think an 18-year-old should have no business being a mother because you don't know.
You
How
don't
is
know?
that right? How is that right? You don't know how to be a parent. You don't know how to be a mother. You
Yeah,
don't know
but
anything.
but you got to think. Okay, but by that logic, you don't know anything the first time you try it. You didn't know how to ride a bike. The first time you got on a bike, you didn't know what you were doing. The first time you put your shoes on, you didn't know how to tie it.
So you should have 10 children by the time you're 21 and know
No,
don't do it, Nick Candy.
No,
it's a false binary.
No, you had someone that was older than you and more experienced than you show you the way and guide you through it and show you the technique.
Like Neo from the Matrix.
It's the same thing with a father and a mother that are having children for the first time. Neither one of them knows the ins and outs of being a parent until they try and they work together.
One parent is more equipped than the other.
Okay, so if the 30-year-old guy is more equipped, then how would he not be able to assist the 18-year-old who he might want to have 10 kids with?
Wait, huh?
All you have to do is get it right once.
Tizzle's like, wait, what? I said the same thing. I'm like, wait, what? What did you just say?
No, how would the 30-year-old guy not be able to assist the 18-year-old through the first pregnancy and guide her through it and be able to console her and comfort her through her struggles?
Yo.
Because all you have to do is get it right once.
Are we really arguing the fact that an 18-year-old should be a mother? Like,
no, we're arguing the fact of you don't have a moral reason for saying it shouldn't exist other than it just gives you the ick, which is the only thing I've ever heard.
I think it's something wrong with you. How are you?
Okay, please demonstrate that.
How are you going to guide a 18-year-old through pregnancy?
So should an 18-year-old?
You don't know.
Is your claim an 18-year-old is just naive and they don't understand the world?
I'm pretty sure you watched that Teen Mom shit. What the 18-year-old Teen Mom show on TV?
Is that your claim that an 18-year-old just doesn't have a full understanding? They're naive. Is that?
Yes, I think that.
Okay.
Can they?
They under
should
that.
No. So my claim to answer your question is: can they? Absolutely, they can. Should they? Mm-hmm. No. Because
should is a moral claim.
Okay, well, we'll call it moral then.
But under your logic, then why should an 18-year-old be able to vote to send men to war to die?
Does that make it right?
I'm asking morally. We're talking about morals. You keep saying I'm asking morally.
Make it right. It doesn't make it right.
So 18-year-olds should not have the ability to vote then, according to you.
Sure. Why not? I think.
So what is the exact?
I think 18-year-olds shouldn't have the option to enroll in the military.
Okay, so great. So what is the cutoff age? What exactly is where's the magic number where they go from naive to not naive enough to where they can engage in this morally?
I would say in your 20s, at least
in
21.
Your 20s.
Yeah, 21. How about that? So 21, you're allowed to drink, you're allowed to do all of this. Yeah. So how about we put the 21? You're allowed to drive, vote. Do everything you want at 21 years old.
So here's the funny thing: if no matter what age you are, you can be naive. No matter what age you are, you can be inexperienced. So if that is the case, if that's your metric to judge morality, then why shouldn't we pass out naive test to get married?
Naive test to get married.
Yeah. How naive are you?
If
you're too naive, then you shouldn't be allowed to get married, according to what your logic here.
No, you should be allowed to get married when you're 21. Sure, why not?
No, but your criteria that you've stated multiple times is they're too naive and they don't have enough world experience. So why shouldn't we have tests to test how naive you are before we allow you to get married? Because anyone can be naive.
Another word for critique.
A gap, yes, anyone can be naive, but the gap is very different. You cannot just marry somebody at 18 and you're way, way, way older. They don't know what they're doing. That's my
But again, I brought the example of they can turn 18 and work at the strip club.
They can turn 18 and have OnlyFans.
Right,
exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Like Earl Sweatshirt State, I learned fast.
You're not setting them up for you. That doesn't make it right. A lot of ones that work at a strip club.
Actually, some of the happiest and longest lasting marriages happens when people are younger. So you would have to contend with that evidence.
Well, I don't know about that evidence, but that doesn't make it right. And I guess
it doesn't make it right to have a long, happy family where, grandma's sitting around. They have generations of kids coming in saying, "Grandma, I'm so happy to see you." That in your worldview, that would be a bad thing. That would be a morally wrong thing.
I'm saying the 18-year-old as a strip club OnlyFans. I'm like, that doesn't make it because they can. That doesn't make it right.
Yeah. So really, what it boils down to is I don't understand because every time I hear this argument, it never has any grounding in logic of why it's morally wrong. It's just I don't feel it should be this way. I don't think it should be this way. It's just more of this gynocentric worldview where all these women get together and they're angry and they want to impose what gives them the ick or not in other people's lives and what would actually make them happy.
Okay. So I guess at that point, if it's legal, then it's right?
No, I never said that. That's a straw man. I'm
Oh.
asking for a moral reason to walk me through where you're grounding your morals in, and
It's
I'm getting
morally
nothing.
wrong to marry a child just because it's legal in some countries. Should you do it?
If it's
It's
more,
not
say it
morally
again.
wrong.
Give me that question again.
In some countries, it's legal for you to marry a child bride, and it's legal. Should you do it? Just
Well, once
because you
again,
can?
your morality and legality are two different things.
But in your view,
So-
I'm asking your question. So does that make it okay?
No, I base my view on the Christian paradigm. So I would say no matter what the law says, God's morals are never changing. So even if they come out with a law tomorrow that's okay to eat people, we would stand against that and say it's morally wrong.
No, yay.
So in God's view, you're okay with an 18-year-old marrying an 80-year-old.
There's nothing wrong with a age gap to the degrees that I listed.
Okay. So you're okay with an 18-year-old marrying an 80-year-old, and I guess you're okay with a 15-year-old marrying a.
Wait,
I never
hold
said
on.
that.
What the fuck?
Now
You said
that's
80-year-old?
now you're going
That's,
too back. That's
I
now you're
mean,
going to the
they
extreme.
can. I'm not going to the extreme.
You are.
Yeah,
You're going
yeah, you
past what
are.
I never
Hold
was
on,
even
well, that's-
arguing.
that-
I was not
yeah,
even
you're-
arguing
You're
That's
going-
grandpa status.
Yeah, you're going to the extreme because we specifically said consenting adults. We started
Yes.
at 18 and you had an issue with that, so I raised it and I said, okay, we'll just do 21 and up.
Okay, so at 18, you're okay with marrying an 80-year-old.
Again,
You're both consenting adults. So
Well,
a
like I
consenting
said-
adult, you're based on consenting adult. So it's perfectly okay for an 18-year-old to marry 70.
well,
and
my
somebody
logic,
who's
but
70.
listen, my
somebody who's
logic,
80.
my logic has been consistent the whole time. I said if they sit down and have a conversation, if they have shared or similar values and they have similar goals, then the rest will work itself out. That's on them.
Regardless of the age gap.
Yeah, so like in that, I'll even grant that. I'll go with that extreme. I'll even grant that 80-year-old and an 18-year-old. Once again, I haven't heard anything morally wrong with that, especially if they're both consenting. They sit down. The guy says, "Look, I'm on my way out. I just want to have someone youthful in my life to like hang out with before my last times." And she's like, "Great, I want all your freaking money, and I think you're kind of fun to hang around." There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing morally wrong with that, and I haven't heard a reason to say the otherwise.
That sounds very transactional.
Yeah, because you
Oh,
like
okay.
to have.
Well, all relationships are transactional, though.
Yeah.
They all are.
For real.
That
Like I
is
said-
not based. That is not based.
If
on
you don't
gender
think it's
love.
transactional, then if you get with a guy, then go run around on him and see if he's gonna stick around. There's a transaction that has to be.
Well, hold on. I got a good ass question. How do you earn love? How do you get it?
How do you earn love?
Yeah, how do you get it? This for anybody. I already got the answer. I could be wrong though. Cause just like Anonymous and you said, we gotta buy everything, right? Like transaction
Love,
relationship is
earning
transactional.
love. I would say if I was going to describe it as that, would be something like over time investing in each other and
Yeah.
then building up that trust and love and relationship over time. So
That
time and
too.
investment.
That too, but it take money too, right?
Yes.
Well, you could say that time is money, and your investment into that is your resources. You could go with
Yeah,
that idea.
Mm-hmm.
My point exactly. So you gotta buy love. I don't give a fuck whoever said or whoever think it's wrong. Like time is money, just like Mo said. Like each relationship gonna be transaction. It gotta be, because I know some of us say 50-50 when it comes to shit or relationships. I mean, it could be 100, whatever you want to call it. I feel like at the end of the day, ain't no partner finna be with a motherfucker who not working or who ain't having income, if that makes sense. I mean, I think it go both ways.
So if it's transactional, then by the point that you're not earning money or you're not providing the lifestyle that you agree with the terms of agreement at the beginning, then there's no way that then I can just leave. If there's no love involved, if there's no for better or for worse, then why get married to begin with? Because I can just leave. As soon as I'm 18 and I'm with my own man at 80 years old or whatever, or I'm 18 or I'm with a 40-year-old man who is rich, I'll do that. 18 versus 40 or 45. Something happens to him, horrible accident, whatever. He can no longer work. He can no longer provide the lifestyle that he promised me at the age of 18. Then I could just get up and leave because I don't love him.
Well, I would argue from a secular standpoint, marriage is kind of pointless to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, you know what?
So nobody should get married at that point. So what's the point?
No, I said secular. I said secular, as in by the state. I was very specific with my words. I said secular.
Secular, okay.
Yes.
So there's no love
by the state. I don't know where you're getting that. Are you curious what I mean by that, or are you just going to make these assertions without understanding what I'm saying?
Oh, no, you know what? You're right. I am curious. What do you mean by that?
So from a secular standpoint, we're just going to go ahead and get married by the state. And we're going to have this piece of paper. Great. So it's a legal contract. There's a whole host of issues that come along with that. From a ecclesiastical church marriage, that is where you have foundations. You have the ecclesiastical order in which to guide and structure the framework of the marriage.
Oh, my man talking about Solomon right now. Shout out to Ecclesiastes.
So here's an example of that. In the Bible, you say you go by a Christian paradigm, right, for your morals. In the Bible, let me just ask you something. Would you put any limit on how much you would submit to the Lord Jesus Christ?
And limit? No, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't? Great. So in the ecclesiastical order, it literally states you should submit to your husbands as unto the Lord. What do you think that means?
Talk about Bible. I submit to my husband. Yeah, sure. Let's submit.
Okay, so that means you should not put any limits on it.
The Lord.
I did it. I do not have any limits.
Lord.
Okay. All right. I was just checking to see what your viewpoint was on that. Okay.
No, I do not have any limits. It should be God first. God is overall, and then I follow, and my husband should follow God.
Right. As long as your husband's not asking you to, go against anything that would go against the Lord's commandments, of course.
Right.
But I was just curious what your input on that was, because a lot of feminists have hang-ups on that. They claim to be Christians and all this other stuff, but they really have a problem with that whole submittal thing.
They ass be lying. Don't believe none of that shit.
No, I mean I can see why, but whenever I see
you know I ain't lying.
Whenever I see pushback on that, I just think that women just submit to the wrong man. Because why wouldn't I?
What's hilarious about this is these women who have problems with this is when you get into a taxi cab, you're submitting to that taxi cab that he's going to take you somewhere safe. When you go to work, you're submitting to your manager. You don't go to work and tell your manager what to do. So they're actually fine with submitting in all these other categories of life, but for some reason they have a problem with submitting to the one man that would love them the most and care for them most and have their best interest in mind. But yeah, they're okay submitting to all these other men because that's what propaganda medias tell them that's what they should do. They should be a boss babe and a bad bitch and don't need no man.
Oh no, get on. Like how
I mean,
no, I think if you're submitted to the right person, you're submitting to somebody who has the best interests in heart for you. So there's nothing wrong with that.
I'm a sub to you.
Honestly, I'm still working things out. You see me on like the Speakeasy channel on Verbal Combat a lot.
I've seen you a couple of times.
I've had a few like formal debates. I get around, but I'll be honest with you, I'm still like figuring this whole like creation, content thing. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do. I just like having discussions with people.
Yeah, I'm the same way, man. I like bringing people together to where we could just have conversations about topics and stuff like that. And giving people a place to just authentically be
Take your hat off. Let me see. I can't even see your face.
Oh no! Tell you what, someone I'll raise it a little bit, but anybody who wants me to take my hat off, there's a bounty on it. They got to do like a $50 super chat.
Basically, what you just said.
Do I have luscious locks of hair, or am I completely George Costanza? Who knows? We'll see.
Pay $50, you find He basically just said that's just like asking Rey Mysterio to take off his mask. He's not going to do that.
All right. So does anybody else
Well-
have anything else on this before we move on?
Yeah. Well, sorry. I just want to come up and have a nice exchange. I appreciate you having me up, and I got to head out.
Oh, okay, cool. Hey, real quick, you're more than welcome to pull up on the panel anytime I'm live, brother.
Awesome, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, and
Yeah.
if you ever start doing like formal one-on-one debates, let me know.
Okay, cool. Sounds good to me, brother.
Hey,
All right,
Mo,
take
before
care,
you
guys.
go-
All right,
Hey,
shout
Mo,
out.
before
Yeah,
you
big,
go,
big,
before you
big.
go, I got a question.
Yes, sir.
It's getting married in Justice Peace considered secular?
Yeah, that would be secular. Anything that involves a state, right?
Okay. All right.
So the reason behind the whole like ecclesiastical marriage within the church, the benefits of that is you're not married, so the state has no authority on dissolving divorce. So then it would cut down on things like this, no fault divorce situation. There's a lot of benefits. And also if your wife is willing to actually do that by the start, that she is willing to go with that ecclesiastical order and take part in it and not be adversarial when it comes to it. So you're from the start, you're in better grounds.
Okay. I just wanted to get that off my chest real quick before you left. I learned
Yeah, no worries.
a lot today.
All right, guys. Take care. Pleasure.
All right, big shout out to Mo Rebuttal, man.
Y'all the Marco